would be very confrontational. And they would say, well, why are you still complaining about farm murders? The minister himself has said now that it's a priority. As if him saying something during an interview on News 24 changes reality.
Please go check out rebelstoreza.com. Their winter range is now available. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Real Moments. Real Moments are clips from videos or interviews that I think you might find interesting. I know some of you may not have the time to watch the full hour-long video or interview, so I thought these Real Moments can also double up as a bit of a teaser, if you will. And who knows, maybe if you enjoy this clip, you might want to watch the full video. Links to the full video or interview are always in the description below. Also, if you want to donate to the show, there's a link in the description for you to do just that. You can now contribute to the show for as little as 40 Rand a month via debit order. Also, there are now some exclusive perks if you're a member. T's and C's apply. This is only available through Quicket. Or you can visit my website for various options on how to contribute to the show. Donations are not a must, but they're greatly appreciated and go a long way to supporting the channel. And of course, subscribing is always free. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, here is your real moment. Is there anything that you can tell us about this year with regards to farm murders, what the stats look like compared to this time last year?
Well, the numbers are up, at least if you compare last year with the year before. I haven't checked the numbers recently or made a recent comparison to last year, which we will do soon. But we issued numbers, I think, 2 months ago for 2020 compared to 2019. And the shocking thing there is 2020, we had the lockdown, and especially those 3 months of the hard lockdown, people weren't really able to move. And there were very, very few, I think 1 or 2 farm murders and very few farm attacks as well. But despite the fact that we had a lockdown, we had more farm murders. There was an increase. So we are concerned there's a very clear upwards trend when it comes to farm murders. And also Senekal was an important thing because everyone started talking about this. The president issued a newsletter. Bekitsele suddenly said no, farm murders is a priority crime, when he hasn't changed anything. But just a few months earlier, when he spoke at, what was the town? It's not Newcastle. It was near there, somewhere in KZN. I forgot the name. Normandin, I think. When he spoke there to some farmers, he said, no, this isn't a priority crime and it shouldn't be a priority crime. And nothing changed after him saying that it isn't a priority crime and it shouldn't be one, other than the fact that there were those riots at Senekal, if that's what you want to call them. And now he said, no, this is a priority crime. So it's simply him saying it's a priority crime, as if that changes reality now. Despite the fact that the Minister of Police and the President and everyone was now outspoken all of a sudden when this Brendan Horner thing became an issue, what we still saw at the end of the year was that the numbers were up, and the numbers are higher if you compare on a monthly basis on average with the previous year. So there's been this upwards trend for probably 7 years now when it comes to farm attacks and farm murders.
Would you say that it's escalated in the past year, even more so?
Yeah, well, it definitely escalated during 2020. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to speculate if I compare 2021, the last 2 months or so, with 2020, because I haven't done the comparison, or I haven't checked the numbers in that detail, yes. But there is a report on AfriForum's website on 2020 compared to 2019. And you can clearly see that there's a spike, and there has been a spike, an increasing spike over the last few years.
Something interesting I just thought of while you're telling us about all these stats in the upward trend. Now, I don't know if you're aware, but people who watch my channel and watch me on TikTok will know that I've been talking a lot about this topic of basically SAPs and their system that is supposed to, catalog evidence and catalog DNA and all that stuff, vital information for any court case that has firearms or DNA, has been switched off. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it right now because you guys, anybody watching, can easily go to my previous videos, and I've done some explanations on it. I'm wondering, because those systems went down in June 2020. I would be interested to see the farm attack statistics during that time, June 2020, if they go even more up than the previous. Not just me being a bit of a conspiracy theorist here, but it worries me that, you know, these attacks and these murders go up and we have basically no system to protect us. You know, I'm
They did
worried.
go up. They did go up during the second half of 2020. So that certainly is the case.
And that's worrying because now we have a system that's been down since June 2020. Those cases, I know, the DNA relies. I mean, if you're going to convict someone of an attack or murder, you need that DNA evidence. It's your smoking gun, if you will. It puts the perp there. It proves that person did it in different ways. And if you don't have a system working to catalog that evidence, if it's non-existent, those victims are never going to see justice. And regardless of how people feel about farm murders and farm attacks, because I know that's also a touchy subject for South Africans, why I don't know, should be an important subject to talk about, that should worry you. It's not just about GBV victims, because that's also what I talk about. GBV victims are also now not getting justice because of the system being down, but also farm murders and farm attacks are also not going to see justice because of the system being down. And you mentioned Cyril and Bekele, who said, oh, farm murders are not a priority. I'm sorry, Ernest. I call BS on that. I think they lied blatantly to the South African public, because here we are almost a year later and the systems have not been switched on. Yeah. Despite SAPS having the money to pay for the systems.
Exactly. The question if something is a priority shouldn't be answered by what people say, on whether people say it's a priority or not. It should be answered by what's actually happening on ground level. And it's very concerning and annoying. I remember after Bekele said that, I had some media interviews, and then some journalists would be, obviously not all, but some would be very confrontational. And they would say, well, why are you still complaining about farm murders? The minister himself has said now that it's a priority. As if him saying something during an interview on News 24 changes reality. The reality is, the question on whether it's a priority is not determined by what the minister says during an interview. It's determined by what's happening on ground level. Are there specialist units for farm murders? Are they releasing statistics annually or quarterly even? Is there a partnership with civil society? Are they getting local farmers involved through policing structures to look after their own safety? Are there rural safety vehicles in rural areas to look after this? Is there a holistic perspective on farm attacks? In other words, to look at this holistically as opposed to just letting individual police stations respond to farm attacks. Are there any attempts to prevent these attacks from happening as opposed to just responding to them when they happen? Is this a priority of the Hawks? These are the questions that we should answer if the question is this a priority crime? Not what did Bekele say on News 24. That's basically irrelevant. And with regards to all of these questions I've just mentioned as examples, and there are other questions as well, with all of them, the answer is no, there's nothing happening, which means it simply isn't a priority.
Yeah, actions speak louder than words. I always say this about Cyril as well. He comes out with his little newsletter every now and again on a Monday, and I'm like, your words mean nothing, my friend. Like, absolutely nothing. For years, South Africans have been complaining about these problems, and you've done nothing. The ANC has done nothing. If anything, it's getting even worse. Unfortunately, it seems like South Africans refuse to wake up. But I hope that shows like this will give them a reason to. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was your real moment. This is your second reminder to please subscribe to my channel. Please like and comment below. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this content, please share it with friends and family. Also check out the Joe Emilio Show Telegram channel. It's a channel, not a group, so you won't be bombarded by weird memes and information. It's really just a notification channel for you to be notified of all my upcoming uploads and live streams. Link is in the description. You can also watch more of my content here or here, somewhere in this general area. Just check it out. You might like it. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe, be kind to one another, and I'll see you at the next one. Cheers.